good organs here in Shelby County. If two major organ transplant centers in Tennessee can't reach some sort of an agreement by June 25th, and a federal mandate does go on despite appeals, the average wait time for an organ like a liver, especially a liver, could be as long as 2 years here in the Mid-South. The UT Methodist Transplant Institute, one of the leading transplant hospitals in the nation, is in a dispute right now with the Mid-South Transplant Foundation. Vanderbilt's Medical Center in Nashville, the Nashville region, would have access to donors in almost the entire state, while our availability would be cut by 75%. Methodist doctors are asking for the two areas to merge, making many more organs available for people facing a life or death situation here in the Mid-South. Last week, a special meeting was called by the county commission, where patients, doctors, and public officials all expressed their deep concerns.
More of us have high blood pressure, diabetes, than any other region in the state. We're the most dense region of the state, but yet we have the capacity or this ability to get only a few kidneys if this legislation stands. Without access, we will leave hundreds of men, women, and children waiting to die.
While this situation only recently came to public light, this is something that has been in the works since 2008 after a federal mandate. But appeals and the appeals process has thus far kept the situation from falling into place. But a final ruling will come June 25th. Last night we spoke to Commissioner Heidi Schaefer, the woman leading the charge for UT Methodist. Tonight I spoke to the Mid-South Liver Foundation Executive Director Kim Van Frank, who says this conjured-up fight is being blown out of proportion. Kim Van Frank, the Executive Director of Mid-South Transplant Foundation, is with us tonight. Kim, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
First question, out of the box, do you feel that your organization is being bullied by Methodists?
Actually, I think that they are bullying us somewhat. The rules that are coming forward to be changed in December, those are not our rules that we changed. Those are rules set forth by the federal government, and we are respecting those just like we would ask that Methodists do.
Now, Kim, you've been accused of not having the patient's best interest in mind of this situation. UT Methodist is claiming that this move is going to double the wait times and make fewer organs available. Is that true? Will you refute that?
Sure, I appreciate that question. And the perspective of Mid-South Transplant Foundation is we advocate for all patients, and we believe that all patients should have equal access to receive the life-saving organ they need. And one of the factors is that with the changes that are going to be made in December, I do want to clarify up front that the changes are only going to affect livers. They're not going to have any effect on kidneys, which, as we all know in the Mid-South, is the greatest need.
Absolutely.
But they are going to have some impact on livers. And what Methodists will see is they will see a slight reduction in the number of livers, but there will continue to be enough livers for patients in the state of Tennessee. The national system is set up so that Methodists can receive organs on a primary basis from our local area, and they will, despite what's been said, they will have access to other organs in the state as well as in the surrounding states. And those are healthy, viable organs that can continue to go to patients in the Mid-South.
Now, Kim, in some of the literature that I've read regarding this issue, you've also argued that the UT Methodist system is only crying foul because the new plan will not allow them to market to patients from outside of this region. Can you explain that accusation?
Actually, when the changes made in December, Methodists can continue to market to individuals outside this area. That's strictly up to that program. And one of the things that will happen is that the patients at Methodist may have to wait a little longer, but the patients that are sicker on the list will have to wait a shorter period of time.
How much longer are we talking about? Again, the accusation has been laid out that this could be from 22 to 24 months now.
You know, there's really no way of knowing that because how organs are allocated are much more complex than can be shared in the form that they've been debated. And really, how long an individual waits for an organ really does depend on how sick they are, which is why we advocate that the sickest patients receive the organs they need.
Kim, we've only got about 15 seconds left, but possibly the most important question from this night is there an amicable solution that can be reached prior to that June 25th deadline that's been set?
An amicable solution? Actually, the solution is to create a fairer system for all those individuals waiting for an organ. And the fairer system, the bottom line, is going to take place in December. It's what's fair and just for all, and it doesn't give preferential treatment to one transplant program.
Kim Van Frank, the Executive Director of the Mid-South Transplant Foundation. We really appreciate your time tonight. Thanks for being here. Now, the Mid-South Transplant Foundation will hold another hearing with the Shelby County Commission coming up on June 20th. Again, the final decision goes into effect on June 25th. Moving on now.